Okay, this is kind of where we left off. I was just showing you how you can kind of import a complete page, and then you can just keep adding to it the same way that you imported the page by clicking here. The last one I tried for some reason didn't work, so I had to, I just started a new video. And I'm going to try again. Maybe let's just keep going. Maybe there's something on this website that I want. Maybe the menu page. There's something on the menu page that I like. Some sort of formatting on here that I like. If I click on it, I can kind of, maybe I like the fact that there's like 2 columns here with all these little sections in it with the text and the image there. Maybe I like that. Maybe I like this little menu. I'll create like a car wash menu, a pricing menu here, potentially. So let's just do import template. We'll try it again. Sometimes you just have to try a couple times for something to work. It doesn't always work the first time, unfortunately. So yeah, luckily it worked this time. So here's that first part we brought in, and here's the second part that we brought in from the other page. So this is our whole page, our pricing page that we've brought in, and it's kind of a mix and match type deal here. But if there's things from this other template that I don't want, I can always just take this off easily by clicking on the sections, trying to find the blue kind of box section and clicking on the X's. But maybe this is the part that I really liked and wanted to keep. Or maybe it was this that I really liked and wanted to keep. So I can easily, kind of customize this page. Maybe I wanted this area because I like the 2, boxes next to each other with the little labels on them and prices over here. Maybe I needed that for my pricing page. So you can mix and match elements from different web pages, which is nice. You can import the entire page and then edit it by simply clicking in here and changing the title here. You can do it here or in here. You can change the size. You can make it, left align, center. So that's just one way of kind of creating pages that's simple, that you don't have to create things from scratch, which is helpful. Another thing I want to show you too is that we can easily kind of move things around. So like, let's say I wanted this section on top of this section here, right underneath pricing. So I can actually click here and I should be able to, oh crap. I should be able to move this with relative ease. I don't have a mouse, I have a trackpad, so it gets a little tricky. But we just need to move it up, which can be tough with a trackpad, honestly. Hopefully that'll move it above. And that did move it above. If you have a mouse, it's a lot easier than using a trackpad. A trackpad can be kind of tricky, but luckily I was able to just grab it here and click and drag it down and move things around. I mean, I think we could probably do, maybe the same thing with these. Well, maybe not. I was kind of thinking maybe, yeah, you might be able to even kind of move these around pretty easily by clicking and dragging them around. So I was able to kind of move these around too if I click here and drag the column. If you have columns, you have to kind of drag them around by the column, but those can be moved around easily as well. So let's say after kind of rearranging things, bringing things in from, separate sites using this like S icon here. Say I got this page, looking the way I want it to look for the most part. Don't forget to push publish once you're done with that, because otherwise it won't save your changes. And then if you want to preview this page outside of this kind of edit box, you can click on the eye icon and it'll open it up in a separate tab, and we can see, here's our header and our navigation, which you can't see inside of the Elementor edit area. And we can really kind of see what this page is looking like pretty easily here, and still be able to, click around to our other pages if we want. So that kind of, the last video and this video basically kind of just went over, you know, how to add and delete pages, and then how to create pages from already made content using that little S icon. I didn't necessarily go over the nuts and bolts of how to like actually go in and edit everything in here. We'll do that later. I'm just kind of doing a general, like this is how you would add a page and create a basic look for your page. And then later on we'll actually go over the nuts and bolts of actually editing all of these at a page level that's more detailed, I guess. And one thing you might be noticing with this pricing page that we added, or any of the pages that you end up adding to your website, is that it's not in the navigation. And so I can show you next how to add pages or how to change your navigation to how you want it to look, basically. So yeah, to add in this pricing page that we just created, we want to go into the customize section. So basically we've kind of used this edit with Elementor, we have used the customize section, and this is the other link that we'll commonly use to get back to our dashboard. So just remember there's a couple different options here, and these will be the main options that we end up using. So let's go into this customize area, and let's go to menus here down at the bottom. And we can go to navigation, which is our navigation of our site, which is also called the primary menu, because there is a lot of times a secondary menu on websites, typically in the footer, but this is our navigation menu item. So we can see all the items in all the pages in our menu. So home, about, services, contact, here we have them, and we can actually add items here. Here's a footer menu as well, but okay, add items. And we can see all of our pages that we have created, and this is that pricing page that we created. So we can quickly add that to our navigation menu. There might be some other things under here, like this hello world. It's actually, instead of a regular page, it's a post. So that would be underneath there, but we haven't created anything like that. So if we push publish, that will have added our pricing page to our menu, which is great. But maybe we want to move things around. Like maybe I want pricing in between home and about. So if that's the case, I can actually, just, if this is open, just close it. You can obviously, change the labels here, or remove them from the nav, pages from the nav. So let's just click this. Oops, it's my trackpad again, but click and drag, and that will be a really quick way of moving and reordering any of the pages that you might have in your navigation. And maybe you decide you don't want pricing there at all. Maybe you want it actually under services and you want it to be a submenu item. So maybe you bring it underneath services and you just hold and click it, hold and drag it a bit so it's indented, and then let up. And so that'll actually make this submenu item underneath services. So you can see the little arrow here. But when we hover over, it just looks white, which is kind of an issue. And that has to do with the fact that we haven't changed the link stylings yet. So I can actually show you how we can go and change this link styling so that we can actually see our submenu item. So go back again. I believe go into header, transparent header, because we actually have a transparent header here. We can really see this image, and there's no color behind our header. But if we go in here and scroll down a little bit, so this is the background. So we could make this an actual color and not have it be transparent. We can also just change it back to transparent. This is the default. I kind of like it transparent, so I'm going to keep it that way. But basically, the submenu is where we want to go into. Click on that and maybe change the link text to a black color. Or just select it from here. And yeah, that should probably fix it. So we'll need to publish that. But if we come over here, we can see, there we go. There it is. And then we would have to publish to save that. I'm not going to, but if you want sub menu items, you're going to want to publish that. I actually don't really even, sorry, I don't really even need this sub menu item. So I'm going to go back into my menus, navigation, and just move this outside of that. But I just wanted to show you how to create a sub menu item and also how to kind of style the sub menu so that you can actually see it. We can actually go back again a couple times and go into header, and we can go into primary header, and we can actually change the layout of our header here. So we're on this one right here where the logo's on the left and our menus on the right, but we can also do it this way. You know, you can try a couple different things and see what you like. Maybe you want your menu on the right, or your logo, sorry. I don't think that looks good, but you can do it that way if it looks good for you. I'm actually kind of liking it either here or here, but it's up to you to decide how you want to do this. You can also create a bottom border color if you want. This is like the mobile header, so you might have the stacked line menu underneath the logo instead of off to the side, so you have a couple options there. We'll get more into mobile styling later. Right now we're kind of just going through some of the basics. I think I might just, move mine back to, it's not really refreshing here, to actually being the way it was, but I just wanted to show you that area. So if we back up one more time, we can actually go into, let's see, not site identity. Well, that's just where we were. Primary menu, I believe. So this will kind of give us some more options on our menu or our navigation. So it says, you know, last item in menu is a button here. So we have this take action button. You have a couple different options here. You can make it none, so you can make that go away by putting it on none. You can do search so that there is kind of a search icon. You can take it back to button and it'll bring it back in. You can also, I wouldn't do either one of these things, but if you do happen to want this button here, but you don't want it to say take action, maybe you want this to be the contact page. The URL for our contact, since we did update our permalinks earlier on in the process of building our site, should be /contact. So that will be the link to our contact page. So we could make the button link /contact. And that should take us to the contact page when we press on this contact button. And we can have it open in a new tab, which I suggest, you know, that might be a good idea for you, I guess. It might not. Probably just leave it in the same tab, actually. But that is an option. And maybe we want to change the button style. So customize button style, you can go in here, and we can change the color of this button specifically to maybe a little bit different color. I'm going to keep the text white, and then we can even make the color of the background hover different. So maybe I want it to be like a hot pink or something. So there we go. And just remember to push publish when you're done to save your changes. Now, one thing you might be noticing is that we have two contacts, but we can actually go back and go to menus where we went before, go to navigation, and we can actually remove this contact here. And now we are all good to go just with the one contact button at the end there. And don't forget to publish to save those changes.